In this video, we're gonna go over the 8 peppers we're most excited to grow this season.
So these are all varieties that we've never grown before. It's winter now here in Connecticut, so it's a great time to kind of go through and pick out some new varieties that we've never grown before for some additions to our garden. And of course, if you're interested in buying any of these seeds, we'll leave links to where you can purchase them in the description below.
So we each have 4 peppers picked out, and let's just jump right in with my first one, which is the Korean Hong Gochu pepper. This is a Korean chili pepper that is on the milder side and can be used to make gochugaru, which are dried Korean chili flakes. And there's nothing too spectacular about the plant or the chilies. They just look like red chili peppers, but the heat level and flavor are special because you can make those chili flakes and use them to make kimchi or chili oil or chili crisp, all of which we've been experimenting with in the kitchen.
Yeah, this should be a really good one for like experimenting with some interesting condiments and using in the kitchen.
Speaking of which, we just published a video where I made chili crisp, and it is genuinely the best thing I think we've ever made in the kitchen. So go check that out on our other channel, Pepper Geek Eats. I'll leave a link to that video down below.
Next up on the list is one that I'm really excited about, and this is a poblano cross called Bryan's Blood that has variegated pods and leaves. Apparently this is a nice mild pepper that is a little bit smaller than a poblano, and it starts off green and just turns into this like beautiful red pepper with variegation that it's really gonna add a little bit of interest and color to our garden beds. So this is a cross from someone named Eric Knight. We've never grown it before, and I'm not really sure when it was discovered or how long it's been around for.
I think it's pretty cool that we just keep getting more and more striped peppers and variegated peppers, and now we're getting these bigger ones, so it's almost the full size of a poblano. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe we can make some stuffed poblanos that are striped.
Yeah, we should harvest a few early so they're still nice and striped. Before the next pepper, this video is sponsored by Bootstrap Farmer. We've been using their super well-designed and durable gardening products for over 5 or 6 years now, I think. And even our oldest 1020 trays are still perfectly good and being used every year.
I especially love the different colors because they're perfect for color coding. You can do flowers in pink and then peppers in red and other veggies with different colors, so you can stay organized in your garden.
We even collaborated with them a couple years ago to make a custom kit, and that's how you can get these unique Pepper Geek specific colored pots in yellow, red, and green. And they have everything we use to grow peppers from seed, like these 6-cell trays with air pruning slits, all the way up to 5-inch pots for transplanting, and a whole range of grow bag sizes.
And we're gonna be gardening exclusively at our home this year instead of renting a garden plot, so we'll definitely be using the grow bags. They have a great selection of grow bags and they work really well for peppers.
So check out what they have to offer at bootstrapfarmer.com. The next pepper we're most excited for this year is the Arequipa Giant Rocoto. And I didn't even know this Rocoto variety existed until I was watching a cooking channel where they were using this pepper, and I couldn't believe how huge they were. These are basically apple-sized peppers, but they're also spicy and from Capsicum pubescens. And last year you grew some pretty impressive Rocotos, so Crystalline proved that it's possible even in our climate to have good results with these, so I couldn't be more excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see this one because Rocotos have such a unique growth pattern and it is such a big pepper, so it'll be really cool to see it.
I mentioned this pepper in a previous video, and thankfully one of our viewers reached out and said that she had seeds and sent them over. So thank you to Kim for making this possible, because it seems like it's really hard to find this seed variety.
This one will be a lot of fun. Growing it in the giant whiskey barrel would be great, though that gets a lot of sun. So we may have to experiment with like a large container size that we can easily move into the shade. Next up on the list is the Candlelight Mutant pepper, and this is an annuum with medium heat that was originally discovered in Finland. And the interesting thing about this pepper is that it has a genetic mutation, so it has really weird fern-like foliage and upright pods, and it actually looks a little bit sickly. So this is just a really cool, unique looking compact pepper, and I'm thinking that it'll do really well in a container. Maybe I'll grow a couple different plants just to see how they do.
Yeah, I've been seeing pictures of these for years now, and for some reason we never decided to grow one. They've also been bred into other varieties, so there are variegated mutants, and I'm pretty excited to see. It's definitely more of a novelty than a practical pepper. Like you said, small and compact and smaller chilies, but it'll be cool to see this year. The next pepper I'm excited to grow is the Violet Sparkle. A couple of viewers actually recommended this variety, and it's just another beautiful pepper that also apparently has very good flavor and productivity. The peppers have a purple skin that is sometimes streaked with yellow, so we love unique pepper colors in the garden.
Purple peppers are so much fun to grow too. What is the heat level on this one?
It's a sweet pepper, so no heat at all. And one other thing, I like the shape of it too. It's sort of like a wedge shape. It's got a pointed end, and it's not super large, but big enough to maybe stuff with some cheese or something like that. So I think it ticks all the boxes. It's got a beautiful color, highly productive, and sweet pepper, so it's gonna be versatile.
Yeah, we always go a little too crazy with the super hots and stuff, so gotta get more sweet peppers. Next up is a really unique cross that kind of reminds me of the Barbarous Antipodes. It's the Ghostly Jalapeno. And we've been seeing this one around. It's a cross between a ghost pepper and a jalapeno, and apparently it's very productive with a nice tangy, fruity flavor. The pods are slightly bumpy and it ripens from green to red. And it's not as hot as a ghost pepper, but hotter than a jalapeno. So I have a feeling it's gonna have a nice heat level, perfect for hot sauces or using in the kitchen.
It's always fun to see how the flavor will be when you're crossing between different species. So I'm pretty excited about this one as well. Ghost peppers are also super productive, so we could get a huge harvest if we put a lot of resources into this plant.
Yeah, and we'll definitely be doing a first time tasting of this one too.
The next pepper we're excited to grow is the Escamillo pepper, which is related to the Carmen pepper. These are also known as Corno di Toro peppers, given their shape, but we have experience growing the Carmen pepper, which is a nice big, they're usually 6 to 8 inches long. They're sweet peppers, high productivity, really delicious. And this is just the golden yellow variant of that pepper, basically the same variety, just a different color. But a lot can change with a color change. A yellow pepper tastes a lot different than a red one, so really excited to see how this one tastes.
Next up on the list is the sweet bonnet pepper, and it's apparently more mild than a Scotch bonnet, but still has a lot of really good flavor. And I was reading reviews on this pepper. I really don't know what to expect for the heat. Some people said it was too spicy for them, and other people just said it was like the best pepper they've ever had. So that's a pretty big claim. I'm hoping that this has a lot of really good use in the kitchen too, because we love using Scotch bonnets for hot sauce. So maybe using it somewhere where we don't want quite as much heat, but we still want that really good flavor.
These ones have been sort of hit or miss in my opinion. We've grown the habanada, which is a completely sweet habanero variant. There's no heat at all. And I think it was missing heat, frankly, like it needed the heat. So, but this one has a touch of heat, right? So
yeah, apparently it has a little bit of heat, so we'll see.
Before you go, leave a comment with one pepper that you're most excited to grow this season. We'll be curious to read those.
Good luck in the garden this season, and thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.